Hey everybody, before we get started, I just want to remind you this episode is brought to you by our patrons like FGO Comics, Qua, Drago66, and Nestor Flores. If you like what we do and want to see us do more, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes early and lots of other goodies, and it would really help us out. Thanks for your support, everybody.
Thank you.
And I'd really love to put like a Gil laughing button in here, but I don't have that, so... Hey everybody, welcome to Let's Talk FGO. I am one of your hosts, Great Wall Omega. And with me, as always, is Giant Snake Lucky.
Yes! Yes. Everyone, I hope you are enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka this is a roller coaster of emotion and lucha libre. And while we here at Studio Omega like to bring you the latest in FGO related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events for both the JP and EM version of the game. So anyone not wanting spoilers should just go serve your favorite goddess.
Whew. That tiny lucha in the background almost killed me. Hey, hi everybody, welcome back to Tired Omega. I had to help my dad out again today. I hope you loved that episode. Remember when I was sunstruck and half dead?
Yeah.
That was a great fun. I'm back. Don't worry, I have plenty of water.
Hydrate.
Though my hands do hurt because I was hoofing buckets of concrete most of the afternoon. But hey, hi, we're alive. We're here. We're going to do the show. Lucky's going to talk a lot this time, I swear. It's actually because I haven't been able to do anything in the game today, so I'm a little behind other people. Some people are done already.
We'll talk more about that when we get there, but yeah, Lucky has been focus fired, and he's made some significant progress. Shout out to Zero Rama for already fucking finishing the damn thing.
Yeah, he's just a machine, constantly. Both JP and now NA. Just trucking along, already done. It's not that hard. I mean,
less than 48 hours.
If I had nothing else to do like these past couple days, because obviously knowing that I would be busy today, I had to do all the show notes and stuff for right now, yesterday, because I'm not an idiot. But if I had the time, I definitely got all the fucking apples I need to finish. I just, need to be able to play my phone for 12 hours straight. But that's hard sometimes. Okay. Let's really quick do Wake the Fuck Up, Senpai.
Senpai! Senpai! 起きてください.
That's right, everybody. It's time for Wake the Fuck Up, Senpai, our regular segment for Protips. This is my energy level right now.
And because that's his energy level, I'm going to read this one.
Also, you wrote
just in case... Yeah, I did write it. So, just in case you're like Lucky and you only find out things way late in the game, if you're curious about what buffs or debuffs an enemy has on them, hold your finger over their health and or class icon to get a pop-up of their status effects. Like, you can do the same thing with your own servants, you can...
That was weird. Lucky cut out right there. He's gone. He's completely gone. He disappeared, audience. I'm going to leave that bit in, but I'm going to pause until he comes back. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that. Discord was weird.
Discord was weird and fucking kicked me out and left me alone in this isolated space where I had nobody and I was crying. But as I was saying, so you could do this with your servants just by basically tapping their icon. Now you can do this with, you've always probably been able to do this with enemies by holding. So it's tap to switch targets, hold to use status. Now you know, and knowing is half the battle. The other half is gratuitous violence.
I was gonna say the other half is lasers. That's G.I. Joe. Anyway. Woo. Shocked me a little bit there. I had some energy. I got another bottle of water while Lucky was in the Phantom Zone.
It was scary.
Yeah. So that's it. We like I said, we talked about how you can tap your own servants before and get like your NPCE details and your buffs. But yeah, you can do that to enemies too, if you didn't know.
Yeah, because as I said, some enemies have some special buffs that you don't realize, and you don't know what they fucking do until you tap it. So, yay.
Alright, let's jump into Regular Toon Throne, our regular achievement topic. I will go first this week. Ishtar Smile Protected and max level. Grails to come. I need to stockpile that first. That's a chore. Trust me, I know. I have a level 100 Mordred. It's a lot of work. It's also a lot of QP, but the Christmas event helped me with that. I almost said the Santa event, which I guess is technically right. And Santa Lily Smile Protect managed to squeak that one out before the event ended. Yeah. That's it for me.
on my end, I made a terrible financial decision and rolled for Amakusa. I managed to get him, as well as has long been eluding me Berserker Lancelot. I can finally knock that one off my hoarding mentality. And several SRs that got turned into rare prisms. I literally, I rolled, I want to say 4 10 rolls when I got Amakusa. And in that time, I got 3 Carmillas, a Tomo Cat, and Marie. Yeah, those are all embers now. They're all rare prisms now. On a not so more common note, I've made a level 130. I am max level now, and I got the summer Mystic Code up to level 10. Some people are like, you still have that equipped? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, over Christmas I got my my Mages Association uniform to 8, which is a big deal. And I think I'm 129 now. I did not yet hit 130, but I'm close.
You should be close. Like real talk, Babylon, and Christmas, they had plenty of XP to give out.
Yes.
Because I only think I hit 129 a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But in Smiles Protected, I also got Santa Lily as well.
Hopes up.
Yeah. I was also able to stockpile quite a bit of fucking embers, and now I don't know what to fucking do with them, because I'm staring at this Babylonia banner. I'm like, do I want to roll on this? I am not committed to rolling on it yet.
Yeah, I threw a couple because I had 7 tickets overall, because you get one from the Christmas story, and I got a weekly one. I'm like, I mean, I can go, because right now I've got 4 10 rolls. I'm at 120 quartz. 122.
Well, see, I threw,
so I'm
like quartz.
Maybe I will drop a 10 roll on Babylonia 2, and then have 3 for New Year's.
Yeah, so I had 90-something quartz left over rolling for Amakusa, because just from all the quartz they gave us, whatever. I threw that all on there. I got dick. I think I got one in all my 10 rolls. I got 1 SRCE.
Yeah,
because here's the thing I've noticed. I only get I get fantastic rolls only when I spend money.
Interesting.
Like Ishtar, I bought an 80 pack. I got her on my 3rd 10 roll. Amakusa, bought my fucking 80 pack, got her on 3rd roll. Same with Void Shiki. That's how I got my MP2 Sanzo. It's all these SSRs I'm always getting after I buy an 80 pack. So I'm $80 pack. So I'm we'll get into this later, but I'm not sold on Enkidu. That's why I haven't committed to just buying the pack right now.
Yeah.
Because as far as I am in the chapter, Enkidu, I'm he's not tickling my fancy.
Also the important thing is all those guys are permanent, and you roll a lot.
Yeah, I know. So I'm just
Yeah, I threw a couple tickets at it because Caskill's on there, Medea Luce is on there. I got a Mapo Tofu and some other shit, so I'm that's okay. 2 tickets is fine.
Yeah, because I've spent all the quartz I have. I'm at 1 quartz because I was let me just do some YOLO rolls.
And I was whatever. Should I do a 10? Nah, I'll save that. If I'm gonna do a 10 spin outside of New Year's, it's gonna be for Banner 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of. But you say so? Enkidu, Castigal, and Medusa Lily are all just in the regular.
Yeah, they're all permanent.
Oh, yeah. I'm not even gonna worry about it. I'll get spooked later. Also, that gave me an excuse to roll on the fucking Lancer guaranteed SSR because I don't have Karna and I won't have Enkidu. So
incoming NP3 Artoria. Yeah, he's gonna get 2 just to fuck him.
Just to fuck me. It would happen.
Yeah, for me, I'm pretty sure it's a Rider. If I get spooked by it won't be spooked. If I get a rando Lucky Cats while rolling for Gorgon, then it'll be Lancer because I don't have any of those. But Rider's my first choice because I have no SSR Riders. I have an SSR Lancer who's a boss killer. It's just she's not on the GSSR, so that's actually fine. But I have no 5-star Riders still over 2 years into this game.
Yeah.
Which is a little weird. I mean, I know they didn't start with any, but Drake was fairly recent, and I've rolled for other 5-star SSRs. I spent all my Jolter quartz on Maeve, and didn't get her, because I got Jolter, first pull. Which just goes to show you what my characterization is. The ultra harsh Sun I get in 1 roll, but Maeve, fucking nothing.
Well,
that's how women in my life work.
Sir, you made a blood oath. Your dedication to your goddess was absolute, and she rewarded you for that shit.
Yeah. No, I had quartz left over. I didn't have to buy any.
Oh,
which is good. It's in my bank. Spend for the GSSR. Anyway, let's move into skeletograms, because we got a lot of talking to do, and I don't know how much energy I have. And unfortunately, we're not in the same place, because if we were, then I'd just be like, yo, Lucky, throw me a monster or something. We'd probably have we'd have a couch, a nice comfy couch. We'd have a coffee table. The mics would be on it, maybe a mixer. And we just have a tiny fridge of energy drinks or whatever in there. Maybe some non-diet sodas.
I put alcohol in it.
I'm like, yo, give me a Dr. Pep. give me the pepper. So all our news is JP, because obviously we already... Last week we should have told you everything you need to know about Babylonia, and as of yet, no new news has come out yet.
Please no, I'm busy right now.
Yeah, no. Actually, we'll jump a tiny bit ahead, because we have put general moratorium on Babylonia spoilers in our Discord, except for the spoiler channel, until the 22nd-ish, because that's when we expect the next chapter with a deadline to come out. I'm kind of hoping it's maybe not that late, because that's the weekend I'm going to be out of town. And one of my sisters doesn't believe in internet, so my data plan's not that good. But yeah, so as predicted, Lost Belt 3 Summon Banner Part 2 came out. It's running from December 4th to December 18th. Raid upon all the new CEs, which is good. You have limited SSR Ruler Shi Huangdi, and Story Locked SR Yu Miayoi, Consort Yu, and Rare Red Hair. Yes. Another Story Locked 3-star. Cry. Cry inside. I cry every time. We're also doing another FGO WinterFes. I forgot to check how long this is for, because it didn't show up on the wiki yet, but there's a commemorative CE, there's some quartz, and that max damage quest thing returns, like, see how much damage you can do in a set number of turns. Fun stuff. I think there's also some quality of life updates being bundled up, so that's good. I think there's like you can filter so that you can only see max limit break CEs. You can filter your support list to see a random assortment of all servants. So, like, I think to see maybe even see their like entire support lineup. So you can look for people with specific support setups, etc. Some more places they display the like class advantage, etc. Just, you know, tiny visual updates, which is good because we can steal those earlier. What was it I was looking at? I was looking at I think I was looking at the 3rd anniversary to look up the GSSR banner, or maybe it was one of the Lost Belt releases, and I was looking at it and it was like, and here's a quality of life update, and I was like, oh, we just got that, wow. Because, yeah, we're getting some of these stuff like a full-blown 2 years early. Or, honestly, you know, yeah, like 2 years at this point.
Honestly, it's probably stuff like what's compatible with our with our coding.
Yeah, apps are a whole thing.
Yeah.
So that's all the news. Well, our notes are short for this, but we'll jump into free talk and, you know, second thoughts on Little Santa Altar / postmortem.
Like, honestly, like we have like a little bit here, but like, mostly it's basically the, wow, I just used a lot of pause words there, I just realized.
Yeah, it's because we don't know what the fuck we're doing.
We really don't. But basically, we really mostly said what we're gonna be said last time, because I said we had our feels. It was like, yeah, this is great. So mostly it's just like moments that stuck out. Like Santum. Like, yes. Honestly, I don't know why they didn't give him a Mozart mask. Like
no, that's
else,
actually it's a reference. I think there's like a pre-existing sprite somewhere they used Emmy in a domino mask for something. So it came back. Also, the Mozart mask would the two guys having to swap the Mozart mask would have been funny though.
Because that is something that I did love about the event, is you clearly know something is going on and you're not entirely sure what it is. Then there's this brilliant line, curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Yes, the localization team is on fire with the fucking Firefly reference.
Oh my god. Like, I want to know what they said in JP. Like, I really do, because I want to know if, like, Like,
Yeah,
in
was
JP,
that just a joke they had to figure out how to translate, or did they literally just spice up the dialogue because it was some generic like anime quote?
It might have been a generic
Like,
anime
this is
quote,
unforgivable, because you always say that. But Curse Your Sudden But Inevitable Betrayal is way better.
It really is, like...
Because the people who play this game will get that.
Mm-hmm. It's like, that's something I feel like I need to ask Albert. It's like how much, like, of, like, the nerd jokes you come up with are actually, like, things you guys have to come up with yourselves. Like, Curse Your Son of Inevitable Betrayal. Mm-hmm. Like, there's, like... Oh, God, I can't think of any other ones off the top of my head, but you something that you know.
Well, and the beauty of FGO is because it's static sprites and it's not a voiceover and dialogue. There's no lip flaps or timing you have to match. Which is the thing that kills most anime scripts. Because they have to match the lip flap timing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was wandering around in a deep dark hole or something the other time, but for those of you who remember Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, remember the whole dilly dally shilly shally thing? That's literally because there's a rando Japanese onomatopoeia there, and guess what? It's a CG movie. They can't edit the fucking lip flaps and the timing.
Yeah, if I remember, Tifa was going zulu 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 zulu.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be the onomatopoeia of dragging something heavy, like literally just kind of like a playful way of saying you're carrying a lot of weight.
Mm-hmm.
And dilly dally works because that's like a yeah, you're wasting your time kind of thing. But like I said, it's just
they have to make a match.
It does not work in English, so they had to do their damnedest, and it sounds dumb.
I bought a bootleg version of Advent's Children, and it was only in Japanese, so I never really heard the.
Oh, that was good. That was fine.
And I'm okay with that.
I own Advent Children twice because did I buy them both on Blu-ray or just complete on Blu-ray? Anyway, I bought complete when it came out.
I should get it.
Yeah, complete's pretty good. Answers some plot holes. Also, by the way, if you're playing 6 Degrees of Fate, Cloud's voice actor in Japanese is also Merlin and Arthur.
Oh.
So technically, Merlin and Arthur are in Smash. We're gonna talk about some stuff tomorrow in What's Up, I think, because we're gonna talk about the Game Awards.
Oh yeah. I still have to catch up on that.
Yeah, I was busy playing Babylonia last night, and like, I'll just get the highlights. So I got some of the important stuff that filtered out, and I saw some trailers afterward. But I wasn't like, I'm not gonna sit down and watch this live. I got other shit to do with my life.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you more about what happened to me tomorrow. But back on point with Little Santa Altar. Basically, you get to the ocean and gasp! It was you all along, the complete mastermind of this entire encounter. And Mash is not happy about this because no one told her, because she can't tell a lie.
Uh-huh.
And I found it hilarious that when she finds out that Roman was in on it, she automatically switches to Battle Sprite and says she's gonna go like have a word. I'm like, oh, like don't hurt him too bad. She's like, yes, I have to save him for you. I'm like, shit,
because you did.
But it was still good.
And it's her live dialogue is just Senpai, and you're like, oops.
Oh boy, I'm gonna get hit with the back of the sword. Yep.
You fools! Why did you tell her? She had no idea.
Yep. Ah, man. Like, I have, like, you know how, like, everyone has their own personal headcanons and fan theories and stuff? Like, I have one about the Master, because, like, I watched, Kara no Kyokai, Garden of Sitters, and they talked about how someone's origin can influence, like, the way they are and the way they act and how they work upon the world.
Yeah, origin's a big deal.
Yeah. Like, it is my personal headcanon that the Master origin is literally just bomb. Because, like, no matter, like, what kind of servant or what kind of person they are, the Master is usually able to form some sort of connection with them. And the more I think about that, just like the varying amounts of like personalities and whatnot, that's like something nearly fucking impossible. It is almost impossible to get like so many people of various different types, like just be like, no, this guy's cool. It's like, oh man, I wish I could write a story about that.
Fat Panda, why are you posting 2D live 2D sprites in?
Is he pushing the gacha? Yes. Oh my god, it's Graf Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that, trying to distract me? I can't click that right now. It'll pull my audio.
I can't even.
I literally can't even right now.
But, like, that's, like, the concept of, like, a character's origin, I think, is, like, always really cool. And I wish they brought that over into Fate a little bit more.
It's much
Because I
more
feel like
prominent in the actual FSN because it's a big deal to mages. Because Shiro, for instance, both his origin and element become sword because Avalon is embedded in his body. So that's why his magic is so weird and specific, because his true nature has literally been warped to be swords.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always very interesting. Sakura, I think, has an interesting like origin and element. So yeah, no, it's very interesting. But Kana no Kyokai definitely plays with that a lot more. At some point that could be a teach me. That could be a teach.
I'm about to say, like we should make that like what is origin,
because it does apply to Fate and could.
Yep. Yeah, but that's my Lucky's personal fan theory that the Master's origin is Bond. It is what allows him to connect to so many servants, even though it is something that's thought to be impossible. It doesn't give him the power, because that's produced by Chaldea and stuff, but he can still make the connection.
But yeah, no, like you instinctively realize what the problem with Santa Alter Lily is, and like immediately figure out how to fix it.
Yep.
How to make her a concrete what if, right? Because her spirit origin is super fragile because she's not a very firm concept, right? The young Jeanne d'Arc was nobody. And she's not a great Santa. We talked about that, how tragic but also funny it is that she's not, and they even say this, as a child it's fundamentally impossible for her to be Santa, because Emiya is right when he says that Santa needs to be an impartial judge who just give all the joy to people appropriately, and a child can't do that, right? So they need to formulate her tiny origin. So they basically give her like an urban legend, which is like a concrete what if. What if Jeanne d'Arc got to see the sea? Because she didn't until she was captured, and that was bad. Also, yes, Axe, Mikaya's origin is in fact normalcy. That is why he is so normal. The normalist. It's his literal metaphysical superpower. His sister's origin is taboo, which is why she's weird.
Yep. Now that I think about it, that's literally opposites. Normalcy and taboo. Huh.
And of course, Shiki's origin is nothingness. Void. Ah, God, I really love Kara no Kyokai. I don't have the 8 hours or whatever it is to watch it all over again, though.
I'm gonna put the Blu-ray set on my anime to get list. So when we have our fucking
that's fair.
Our gaming is our nerd haven. It will be there eventually.
All right. So do we have any more last thoughts about the? Just because people will do this dick measuring, we should say how many lotto boxes we did. I did 11, and I'm very happy about that.
I did 13.
Nice. I probably could have squeaked in another set with a gold apple at 10 o'clock with an hour to maintenance, but I was like, I just finished a box. I got the EXP goals I wanted. I got all the fucking skills I wanted. I'm covered in QP. I still didn't get my CE drop. I should have put that in All the World's Evil, but rip me. I didn't get a CE drop.
I got 2.
But I wasn't farming the event every second of the last hour just because I wasn't going to get that CE drop. So it was just well, there's always next year.
Yeah, we actually had some people who only started recently and they didn't have optimal setup, so they were kind of hurting.
Yes.
I was just hold off till next year. We believe in you.
Yeah, it's fine. That's why they do reruns for seasonals. They do reruns for collabs. It's just they take way longer to be in the rotation.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, no, Axe is talking about how he did the 35-ish and suffered. There was somebody on my friends list. I forget who they were, their name, but that's good. I won't call them out. But their fucking friend message was 80 lotto boxes I've done, and I'm like, yes, sir, yes, you are.
I'm done with you. I don't even want to be in the same room with you.
That's a lot of fucking boxes. I'm surprised you weren't done sooner, but okay.
Yeah.
80 boxes. I'm like, okay. Man. Listen,
next,
everybody do your own speed, because don't think that that's normal that you got to be I gotta do 80 boxes. No, we did 10-ish basically. So don't overstress
I hit 13.
yourself.
I'm all I did good. I did good. I gave myself a pat on the back. I was like, good job, Lucky. Good job.
Well, yeah, because you did like, what is it? Like 4 or 5 over the required, because it's what, 6 boxes or 7 boxes?
It's like 6 or 7, but yeah.
Yeah, because I think it's 6 that are the one, because there's 1 crystallized lore, there's the actual exchange item to get.
And then there's
your permanent, and then there's the 4 ascension items.
Yeah, all of them come with Yule logs.
Mm-hmm. And you get enough logs to buy all your extra copies if you're not refilling them early. So yeah, so that's quite a few over the minimum number to quote unquote complete the event. So that's pretty good.
Oh yeah, and I went hog wild with my skill gems. Like I was able to get a few.
Oh
of
yeah,
my,
I need to go through my backlog and do more. But I got 2 Ishtar skills to 8, and then I had to stop because she needs a lot of fucking lamps all of a sudden. I feel like I'm like, Ishtar, why do you need so many lamps? You need like 15 lamps per skill. I own 20. We can't do that. And she just yells at me, "Give me lamps, mortal." I'm like, no. Maybe later.
I got Tom mode like this.
I gotta go beat up Ifrits for lamps, I guess. We'll do that later.
I'm pretty sure I have all the skill materials to get Tamamo to 10, 10, 10. I just don't have the QP.
Yeah, that's always a risk. Like, I'm so glad this event was so good for QP, because I dipped down to like 50 million, and then I ballooned back up to like 75, and it's a very quick swing back and forth, let me tell you.
Yeah,
the event was great, though. I got a lot of chains. I got a fuck ton of dragon scales. Doing that 40 AP over and over again. Just, and then, like, so many fucking... They wouldn't give me a CE, but that dragon loved dropping scales.
Like, yeah, no, like, I was getting fangs and chains, and I got a few seeds. Like, no, the drops were good.
Yeah, the drops in the event were good.
Yeah, except for the CE.
The drops in Babylonia in the story so far are pretty good too.
Aren't those like mandatory drops though?
Some of them are. It's some of them are variable, some of them are not. I think a lot of the new mats are mandatory.
Yeah.
Oh, that also reminds me, I got a shitload of gold caster EXPs I don't know what to do with.
Man, I actually have to prune my servant pool because it is like chock full of gold and silver EXPs. I'm like, I don't know what to do with these. Like, I could get, like, a new servant here, like, in the next few weeks, just depending on, like, whatever banner I decide to, blow my Christmas budget on.
Yep. But then the question is...
But I'm just like,
are you gonna,
yeah,
who's gonna need those EXPs? Oh, it's gonna be a pain, because I'm aiming for... I know we're both aiming for Gorgon, and that's the old all-like EXPs. Mm-hmm. Why can't they make a freaking extra EXP?
So, again, pause words. I gotta stop that. So I've been using, I'm used Merlin a couple times in Babylonia, and, people are always talking oh yeah, he breaks the game, and I finally understand why. Jesus fucking Christ, he's useful.
Yeah, he's pretty, and you don't even get arguably his best skill, in the story support, because he doesn't have hero creation, which is his huge targetable buster, up buff. But the boy charges his own MP. He does a team-wide MP charge. He gives you a team-wide invincible when you need it.
Yeah, it's just...
And then if you actually drop his NP, it's, hey, you're healed, and healing per turn and NP per turn.
That's what I was doing.
The first time I think you can pick him, you have to fight a dragon, one of the enhanced dragon bosses. He lived a long-ass time in that fight.
I didn't use, well, you know what? We're gonna go from our.
Yeah, I think we're done. We're done with them.
Yeah,
with
so
Christmas.
we're gonna go full into Babylonia because I want to talk a little bit about Merlin. I was like, fuck this dick wizard. I ain't gonna use him until I got to a certain boss fight with a very scary later. I'm like,
no, that's what he's there for. Merlin's great.
Yeah.
Merlin's great. Also, we got the fucking in-story, the faux kick. Foe speaks his first words. Murder Merlin, and he fucking does a flip kick.
You want to know what his second words are? Roma.
Nice.
Foe is top percent. I'm currently working on getting the foe kick emotes into Discord.
We have a transparent foe. It's just not small enough yet.
Yeah, no, I gotta
shrink it down a little. Because I the moment it was posted, I was like, and saved, and open up server settings, and it's like, it's too large. I'm like, shit, I'm trying to do a show.
Yep. I was gonna work on it too, but I was like, we're gonna do a show. But Babylonia first thoughts. I'm probably gonna be speaking the most about this because.
Well, yeah. Before you do all this, let me real quick jump in and say I haven't had any time to work on it today, like I said. So I am just now at the point where we established the Chaldea Embassy. So that's where I am. I have seen a lot of the support characters and some of the villains and stuff, but I'm not super far in.
All right, I'm gonna try and avoid like. I don't think any of these are like super spoilery. So.
No, it's just I won't be able to comment on them because I haven't shared the experience yet.
Yeah. As of right now, I'm on chapter 13. I just got through with taking care of the second goddess, and now we're on to what do we do next. So starting off, the Singularity starts off what I would like. I hate to say it, but very normal. You arrive, you fight some stuff, you have no idea what's going on. Mischief is afoot.
Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, Ishtar crashes on you,
literally,
and then many of your dialogue options are like, "I'm going to sue. I'll see you in court."
What's even better is when she shows up in Gilgamesh's courtroom. One of your responses is, "I guess I did see you in court."
Boom.
She's all like, "Don't." She's like, "Don't act all friendly with me." It's like, "Excuse me, do you know who I am?"
Well, first of all. Ishtar, honey, I already have you at level 90. And Bond 5, by the way, you've said some interesting things to me.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, if you don't have Ishtar's Bond 5, it's great. It's super, it's the cheesiest son. She says, alright, I've worked up the confidence to confess, ... I don't hate you.
Oh my god. Ishtar is an absolute delight. Like, this is one of my notes later. It's literally if you took Tosaka and just dialed it up to 10. Like, they say it's, it's supposed to be like 85% Ishtar and like only 15% Ren. Like, no, that's 100% Ren.
Yeah, I don't know how much, like, I always thought I always felt like it's supposed to be like a 50-50 split, but Ishtar's, unlike Waver, Ishtar is in the driver's seat. So it's a lot of her original, kind of like bratty, contradictory personality. It's funny. They talk a lot about gods and authority in this, but half that's from Enkidu, so I'm like...
Yeah, no, it's like literally like, if you just make, like, if you take out like, Ren's basically, what's the word I want?
Well, so if you want to call it this, Rin's one like main character flaw is that she does actually have that like she has a soft side, which is unusual for a person in her tragic history and as a mage, right? Like Rin could almost think of herself as a failure as a mage just because she's not actually as selfish as she should be. She gets concerned like whether Emmy is gonna get blown up or something, or is concerned about collateral damage and stuff. She doesn't even really care about the route. She's just doing it because that's what her family does, right?
Well, like, yeah, like, this is one thing. If you take out her, like, soft side and Ren's scheming, Ren's a schemer, like...
Oh, yeah, no, Ren's super fucking shifty.
Yeah, Ishtar is not.
Yeah, Ishtar... I think that's a good way to say it, yeah. Ishtar has no chill and she has no subtlety.
Yeah. Which
makes sense. She is a senior goddess, the Queen of Heaven, has many, many authorities responsible for both love and war. The girl has no chill.
Yeah.
And you might think to yourself, oh, Rin doesn't have any chill either. That's only really in comedic. Like, she's... go back to your actual original Fate roots. Rin's pretty devious. Deep down, like we said, she's got that ultimate blunt soft-heartedness, which keeps her from just, exploding like Emiya while he's asleep or something.
Well, like, yeah, she's also impulsive, as the fact that Archer goes, "No, I caught this," and he's all like, and she's like, "Oh hell no!"
Yeah.
So there's many sides to Rin Tosaka, and they kind of mesh well into the tsundere that she is. But Ishtar basically takes out some of those more devious and subtle sides, and just turns the selfishness and greediness up to 10. Mm-hmm. She's still a decent, they actually explain this later. Ishtar's still a decent person, because she's not evil. Even Gilgamesh says this. She's not an evil goddess. Otherwise, he'd had no problem just blowing her the fuck up.
Well, yeah, and
But
that's actually,
kind of
like I said, that's a big deal. Like, I talked about this in, like, the 1 edition. I've talked about it at other points. I think when we got into our first, like, alignment discussion with the voice, why is Ereshkigal chaotic evil and Ishtar lawful good when Ishtar's kind of a brat? It's because she's a senior goddess who is responsible. She's the chief goddess of Uruk. In her mythology, she's responsible for giving them the maze, the roots of civilization, right? She is a super important deity who has been heaped with all these authorities, these capital A authorities, because she has been very helpful to humans overall. Yeah. She's also a huge brat.
But, yeah. But she still likes shiny things. She still, wants things, and guess what? She's kind of nuts. Not evil, just nuts. She's kind of the person who... she's a natural disaster.
Yeah. I'll say this. This is take... Because, for obvious reasons, but take Enkidu's thoughts on the matter with a grain of salt at the beginning, but he does have a very fair point about, why do centralized gods seem to have this affection for humans, right? It's because they have lots of these authorities that kind of pile up, so they have, conflicting orders or directions. And I think that's like how Ishtar works, is, she's torn between, okay, well, no mountain can be more beautiful than me, your, all your base are belong to us, but also, she cried when humans were wiped out by the flood and stuff. So she's got a lot of contradicting hats. And actually, a lot of Ishtar's mythology has her not afraid to beat up other deities and take their authorities. Because she is a goddess of conquest, so it's interesting to see. She's got a lot of hats.
Remember, Tosaka only participated in the Holy Grail War because she just wanted to prove that she was the fucking best. She didn't actually give 2 damns about the Grail itself.
Yeah, no, she didn't. Like I said, she didn't necessarily care about going to the root or making a wish or anything. But she's one of the fucking founding families, so she's gonna be in the Grail War, and she's gonna try and summon the best servant.
Yep. So, yeah, so when they say that those two are extremely compatible, I really understand why now.
And honestly, because I haven't met Ereshkigal in the story except for the intro, the very first scene, because they have a fucking Legion of Doom meeting as the first scene. Oh my god, I love this game.
Really...
it's creepy and unsettling, but also at the same time, it's like they're literally having a Legion of Doom meeting right now.
I've met Ereshkigal, and I have some questions, because, Ishtar is now launched from, Dragon Ball?
Yeah. But what I know of Eresh's story, it's interesting to see the different kind of compatibility that she is. They've said that Ereshkigal got Rin's body, her physical body, which is... once again, either play Extella or watch our Extella playthrough, because that has the whole mind-spirit-body split thing talked about. So, Eresh has body Rin, basically. And is Ishtar supposed to be... I don't know if it's mind or soul. But she's one of those. And maybe she's both of them, I don't know. So Eresh's influence with Rin is more subtle, but it's... Eresh is very interesting because you can really see how Rin's positive nature helps Ereshkigal too, because especially at higher bond levels, boy howdy, Eresh would really like to just kill you and spirit you away down to the underworld to be with you forever. She has a real hard time not just doing that as a playable servant. So it's once again interesting. Everybody likes Ereshkigal so much because on her front-facing half is very much the kind of almost affectionate side, but she's got a lot of dark in her background. Ishtar's kind of the opposite. The front face is her brattiness and her greediness, but if you chip away at there, she is actually an okay person inside.
Yeah. Yeah. So, no, I think that'd be a spoiler to talk about how Ereshkigal really shows up, because I don't understand what's happening, so I don't really think I could talk about it.
Yeah, we'll obviously we're gonna be here for a couple weeks, so we'll talk about it when I get there.
but also showed Jaguar Man, and like literally Jaguar Man is just Taiga, who has been turned up to 10 as well. Like I see her and it makes me think of Tamamo Cat. Like honestly, it's like literally Taiga just with less breaks. Again, completely comedic character, but also kind of scary at times. But something I've definitely noticed is that this time there's a lot of wisdom going down. Not the capital W wisdom, but, you know, a lot of insight. Ushiwaka Maru says some good things. Leonidas says some really good things. So, I'm going to dial it back here real quick. So, and actually kind of go in order, because I just realized I'm jumping all over the place. So, the Singularity starts off normal off. You meet Ishtar, who literally crashes on you, even though she doesn't tell you her name. You find that out later. Enkidu comes to your rescue. He's like, yeah, cool, I'll take you where you need to go. Heel turn, Enkidu is not
direction. Yeah. You find that out real fast.
Real fast, because guess what? It's everyone's favorite dick wizard, Merlin and Anna. Like, honestly, like, I would have to say I was spoiled on that, but I didn't know that was going to actually be, like, a thing that, like, was be hidden. So, you know, I've already put some puzzle pieces together.
Yeah, this is one of those cases where they start fixing this in EOR.
Yeah.
But, like, the summon banner spoils it. It tells you that it's Medusa Lancer. Like, it's not even Medusa Lily, it's just, she's Medusa Lancer. So it's one of those interesting cases, right? Because she's not a story lock. She could just bump into you anytime. In future settings... Oh, that does remind me. That was another one of the quality of life updates that is coming out. You can switch NP lines between True Name Revealed and Not Now in JP, which can be cool, because some of Archer of Shinjuku's lines are a lot better when you know who he really is, right? Or when you don't. But yeah, Epic of Remnant starts fixing that, where they hide the true names of servants until you complete them in the story. So even if you summon them, they don't necessarily use their true character names or their true Noble Phantasm names until you actually get the story point, which is cool. Anna definitely could have benefited from that. Also, her Noble Phantasm is called Caress of the Medusa. It's like, I don't know, like, the mechanics of the game don't try to hide it at all, but the story is like, this is a thing. Also, it's another important to note, this is another one of those interesting cases. Merlin says this. Merlin has been summoned by the king, and so have several other servants. He explicitly points out that Anna is a rogue servant. She was just called because there's a grail.
Yep. So, Dick Wizard, I'm just gonna call him Dick Wizard. Dick Wizard, you know, gets you on the path, actually gets you to frickin' Urki. You meet Caster Gil, King Gilgamesh.
Well, before we even go there, I want to just say, I love Merlin. Because he's such a... he's so extra, as they like to say these days. If he took things seriously, he would be a tryhard. But the only thing he's trying hard at is not being a tryhard. Like, it's so funny. He's so helpful, but at the same time, he is such a layabout too. It's hilarious because he's like, yes, I'm a master. I could be Grand Caster. I could do all these things. I'm the most amazing person there. Isn't this great?
But I'm not.
Dr. Roman. But also, fuck you guys. I'm gonna go drink beer and see prostitutes. Laters, Merlin out. Drops his hater blockers.
And gets kicked by foe.
Yes. Which their relationship dynamic is great because Merlin flat out says it. You know, he calls him. I don't even know how it's a Welsh, like Cath Pulag. But he's like, I spent all that time raising you. How many fair maidens have you tricked with your cuteness? And he's like, but it's funny, their relationship. Apparently, Foe and Merlin are very similar. It's so funny.
Like, at first I thought like, Foe and Merlin were like kind of the same thing because, you know, they have a very similar like color scheme.
Yeah.
And then I'm starting to realize like, no, this ain't the case. Apparently Foe is something called the Beast of Disaster, and I'm all like, okay.
Yeah.
Question marks? What is happening?
We're gonna have a lot of fun talking about Foe later.
Yeah.
But, all you need to know is that Foe is a good fluffy boy.
He is a good fluffy boy. He is companion number 2. Mash's companion number 1. So you get to Earth, and you meet the King Gilgamesh. You find out that it is not Archer Gilgamesh, but Caster Gilgamesh, who is such a solid character. I love him so much. Like, just the way he's like, literally, like, he's like in the like he's in a ziggurat, like belting orders, screaming at the time, and still has time to dance with you.
Yes.
And like,
and by the way, he's constantly talking about how overworked he is, but the bants are constant.
The bants are constant. So, you know, you fight him, and then he realizes that you're a lot weaker than he needs you to be, so he's like, you guys, go piss off. Like, go do some, like...
Yeah, he's like,
go piss off.
I have foreseen that you, in fact, are the guys from the future, but, you're useless to me. Go away. Go do odd jobs in town.
And, you know, you're giving it with Siduri, who's a holy priestess, and she says, he didn't say you were... I can't remember, like, specifically how
she
it said,
says you were not... He didn't say you were useless or worthless. He just says that you couldn't help him.
So,
which was...
You know, and I thought that was, like, really, really good, a really, really good line. He's like, you're not used to me now, but if you go out and work, maybe you can become useful to me. And that's what you do. You literally go out... Like, this, I think, was, like, one of those, like, my favorite parts of the story. Is, basically, you're given, like, an old tavern that you can convert into the Chaldean embassy. Like, as soon as there's like all these servants just show up that Gilgamesh is summoned, that Gilgamesh actually fucking summoned, because fun fact, this is the age of God and mana is ridiculous right about now.
Yeah. No, Da Vinci has another exposition where she talks about she actually explains the difference between mana of the earth and I think it's Od, the internal energy which flows in your magic circuits, right?
Yeah.
So she says in the age of man, mages is entirely cast using their own internal energy because we are no longer in the age of gods. The amount of mana in the earth has significantly reduced. Which you need another scarf because otherwise you as a modern human would die. Basically, there's too much mana concentration. Which, by the way, is a great excuse for why ancient characters are superhuman, even if they're not directly descended from the gods, is just, oh yeah, there's just like loads of magic energy floating around in the atmosphere.
Yeah, so basically you find out that like Gilgamesh, while he gives mad props to the future man for being able to summon servants in such a mannerless times, like, nah, I didn't need that shit, man, I can just summon them myself. Because I need fucking help. Because it turns out there are 3 fucking goddesses trying to wreck humanity shit.
Also, by the way, they do a great foreshadowing. When you first see the Great Northern Wall of Uruk, by the way, there's a fucking Northern Wall now.
Yeah. Because it's
They remark how orderly it is with the formations, and then, hey, guess who's running that shit later?
Oh, it's Leonidas! Oh my god, Leonidas was so good.
It's great. I love him so much that he's actually getting a story detail. And he's a perfect fit. But the thing is that Gil summons Merlin first, which is possible because Merlin technically doesn't exist yet, so he could be said to be dead, so he can be summoned. But then Merlin tells Gil about the Holy Grail War. And then he's like, then I will summon 7 more! And Gil keeps his chill. He plays this off like it was fucking nothing, but Merlin and Siduri are both like, yeah, that's why he's stuck at home right now, because he basically killed all his magical energy doing that. Summoning and maintaining 7 servants.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of stuff that Merlin didn't mention, but Gil knew just because he has fucking clairvoyance.
Yes. They even kind of talk about that. Like, they explain how the King of Mages has the ability to see the future. They talk about how Gilgamesh can see, I think, both the past and future. And Merlin has the ability to see anywhere in the present.
Yeah.
Which, at first, Dr. Roman is like, it's trash, but then he's like, wait, it would be like if you could see all computer networks at the same... Oh, wait, shit. That's actually really good. Yeah, Dr. Roman and Merlin have a lot of bants.
Uh-huh. Oh, man. But you set up the Chaldean embassy, Leonidas shows up, he is full bro, like, from the get-go. Don't let him drink, though. It's kind of funny. Like, that's the thing about Leonidas, he's like, you'd think he'd be such a serious character, but I swear he's like a half-comedic role, like, most of the time. Like, he's all about, like, muscles and training, but at the same time, he says, like, really insightful and wise shit about, you know, you have to rest. like if you're scared, take 3 deep breaths, and like, I'm like, oh my god, like it's like such like kind of a conflicting trait that just works so well, and it's Leonidas.
Yeah, because he's written as kind of like a musclehead character, but also he is historically a very famous king.
Yeah,
who had a very famous strategy.
Sparta.
Yes,
of like
which is why he runs this so efficiently. He's like, yes, everything shall be perfect defensive formations.
Mm-hmm. But he doesn't he doesn't overwork anyone. And that's something cool. Also, I noticed about Castergill. Like when he's belting out orders, he's still he's still like super strict, but.
Well, yeah, it's great. They capture his character so great, because when you first see him, he's busy yelling at everybody. He's like, priests, do this. Soldiers, do that. By the way, what's-his-face his daughter is having her baby. Send her a midwife, and let him know. His grandchild's face will fill him with joy. And it's like...
And give him strength, give him strength to fight. I'm like... It's like he's the type of king that's like strict but fair. He will like
this is the
wrong, it's
funny. They call Archer Gilgamesh the stronger version, which is technically true. But as a wise king, Gil's character is so much better because he has almost in a sense reached enlightenment, right? Like he has accepted his fate, and he's like, all right, well, I'm gonna be king. And guess what? If Gilgamesh says he's gonna be a fucking king, he's going all out.
Well, again to define them, Archer Gil is pre Immortality Quest, where he still had Enkidu, and he's just like, well, fuck the gods, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. Look at this city, it's mine. You fuckers do shit for me. I don't give a fuck if you die.
Well, actually, the keep in mind the thing, because Gilgamesh is kind of a scumbag. The thing that the people of Uruk are praying for is that. King Gilgamesh has so little to do in his life that he is exercising. I think this is the first time this is recorded in history. He is exercising the so-called droit de seigneur, the king's right, and he's banging everybody's wives before they get married.
Yeah.
So they're like, dear gods, please give King Gilgamesh something else to do. And they're like, okay, boom, clay.
Yeah, and Castergill is post-Immortality Quest, where he's literally gone on an epic. A literal epic, trying to earn this and just have everything taken at him, and he just realizes, he comes to a sense of enlightenment, of understanding. And so he literally settles down. His personality hasn't overtly changed, I would say, because, he's still brash, he still yells a lot, he still thinks he's better than everybody, but he's now using that energy to be productive, to get things done. Like, don't cross him, he'll fucking kill you, but do good for him and he'll reward you, And I really like that. That's like literally that's my favorite types of leaders.
Also, you see this a lot with he has such a good rapport with his people. Ishtar shows up and he's like, he kind of you could almost imagine him cracking his neck. He's like, okay, all right, we're gonna fight now. And he's like, hey, soldiers, do you want to? And they're like, no, sir, we're leaving. Okay, thanks, bye.
And he's fine with that. He's all like, well, this is how we go.
Oh well, okay. And then they come back and he's like. They come back instant, and he just does a remark on it. And he's like, well, you guys left, but it didn't matter, so.
Speaking of the Chaldean embassy and Castergill some more. So basically what happens is you get sent out to do a whole bunch of odd jobs, and there's literally just think of these as a bunch of fucking side stories. Like, you go to shear sheep.
Well, basically, it's funny. Gil's a fucking RPG king now. He's like, yes. All right, you have arrived, hero. But I'm gonna need you to do some things for me first.
Yep.
It's like how to get your houses in Skyrim, you have to help the Jarl's people 3 times.
Oh yeah.
That's what he's like. Yeah. He's like, all right, well, we'll see if you guys can help me, but go help my people with whatever the fuck they need for a little bit, and I'll get back to you.
And this is the thing that slayed me is basically every day after you get done, you would go and report to Gil what had happened, and even though Gil's busy, he's aptly listening to you because the most crazy and interesting shit happens to you. As I said, start shearing sheep, you get fucking attacked by demon boars and you have to slay them off. You go investigate an affair and you discover an underground cult of the Ohemans, I think it was. And I remember this specifically, that Castergill was you're telling the story and he just gulps as he's listening. He's like, And it just gets to the point, he's all like, why do you get to do all this interesting stuff while I'm stuck fucking here? And it gets to the point where he's all like, I'm gonna go with you. Which leads him to hilariously getting kicked in the abdomen by a statue, and he decides to ban all dumping of stone statues.
Also,
It's
yes,
like,
by the way, Gil's shirt is... Gil Sprite is shirtless the entire time.
Yep.
Ishtar even makes a joke about that. She calls him the fucking shirtless king. By the way, did we mention this on air, that Ishtar and Gil's bants are amazing? We talked about it before the mics were on, but yeah, if we'd said it already, we need to say it again. It's great.
It's great.
It's so great.
Oh, man. So, as I said, basically you go out, you do some missions, you find out some things are going around, Anna's chilling with you. Anna doesn't really like humans, but guess what? You start to melt that heart of hers because...
Well, yeah, Anna's really interesting because Merlin even says it. She doesn't like humans, but she doesn't hate humans either. It's more that she's afraid of them because of the reasons that we've talked about.
Mm-hmm.
I like that she's like, no, I'm a hard ass. I'm edgy. I don't like sweet... No. Do you want a sweet thing?
I really like
yes.
the gate guard. Like, the gate guard really set this, like...
Well, yeah,
first,
it's a direct comparison to Camelot. Camelot, you got to the fucking holy city and it was like, oh my god, this place is terrible. This place sucks. We have to destroy this place. You get to Uruk and it's like, oh my god, this is the greatest place ever.
Yeah, the gate guard's like, welcome. Like, if you need help, go here. You need this, go here. You, girl with the hood, wait. Have some candy.
Have some bread, because you look hungry.
It's like, oh man, I can't handle these feels.
Yeah, it's honestly, it sounds about right for this different, like, time in the world, right? Like,
yeah.
The Holy Land was run by the Lion King, the goddess Rungomniad, as, like, her perfect clockwork city. While Uruk is super efficient, we're in the cradle of civilization, right? Like, we are in some of mankind's earliest history, are these city-states, which they didn't form, like, long-lasting empires that stuck around, say, as long as some of the Egyptian kingdoms, but there were people in this region forever. There are still people in this region right now, in the Fertile Crescent, between the Tigris and the Euphrates. Like,
yeah, this is the place where the first laws were. This
is the cradle of civilization, and it shows, right? Like, all these people are together and united, and they are functional. Siduri even says, we don't have much for entertainment these days. We just have, cheap beer, wheat. But, hey, it's life. And you're like, girl, that sounds like some civilization right there. You have alcohol, you have livestock, you have clothes, because, sheep are good for wool. Yeah, no, this is how human fucking beings started.
Yeah. It's, like, really crazy, just, like, the city feel is, like...
Also, yes, the fucking themes in this city are great.
Yeah.
The music's amazing in this chapter in general, but, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, basically, things progress, and... Like, how much do I'm just gonna go with, like, general. And you have to go to another city to try to rescue people. Shit goes horribly, horribly wrong.
Which is the thing to say, because having done the pregame for this, I know shit continues to go wrong throughout this entire story. Where this story begins, you think is bad. If you're not done with it already, you haven't seen any shit. This is gonna get real bad.
Like, I don't think I've gotten to the real bad because, like I said, I'm still dealing with the three goddesses. Like, that's where I'm at, because that's basically what happens. I know, like, more shit's about to happen because I couldn't avoid all spoilers.
Yeah, and I mean, fuck it. I tried to avoid specific names, but we talked about some of the gimmicks and stuff on the show, right?
Oh, yeah,
like, there's some stuff that is unavoidable, and quite frankly, like you said, talking about earlier, where actually, no, did you say that on mic? Where you didn't yet? Where they're talking about, why did you tell me to pick my party after I picked my party?
Yeah,
like the game still has some gotchas in there, but it's way better for you to know some of these gimmicks in advance, because, goddamn. Ooh.
Yeah, so, like,
there's some rough fights
for one, there's a Dark Temple that's on, I'm gonna use air quotes here, Tiamat's side. That Dark Temple is the stuff of dojins of certain flavors.
In fact, I am dead certain those already exist.
I'm pretty sure they do, too.
It's not a pretty sure. Those exist already.
Yeah. There is an ominous countdown timer, and I don't think this is the most ominous one. Like, there's actually a timer that says days until, like, attack, and it just, like, counts down. I'm like, no!
I just realized, wait a minute. I mean, I know, here's the funny thing, we'll spoil some of it, but some elements of Babylonia are this way because this is written by Nasu. Nasu saw Shin Godzilla while he was writing this, so there's some of that in there. But I'm just thinking of, like, the giant wall and the monsters and the countdown. I'm just thinking, like, Attack on Titan stuff.
Oh, yeah, it totally has that feel. But yeah, no,
that's basically the kind of setting we're in. It's just, like, you're under constant monster attack. It's like, how long will you last?
Mm-hmm. So the rescue goes horribly, horribly wrong. You lose a lot of people. Like, servants, like, Ushi goes down, Benkei disappears. Leonidas is self-sacrifice in the most bro way.
Well, yeah, that's his thing.
He's top bro. But, you don't let that get you down, and you're like, all right, if we're gonna, like, deal with this threat, we should go deal with the other two threats. So you go to recruit Ishtar, because, as you said, she's not an evil god. She's just kind of selfish. And what does she want? Fuck tons of gems. So you literally go bribe her. And
also, yes, Axe just said this singularity is like a whole VN. You are correct. Babylonia is, I think, the largest text-wise chapter as of yet. Yeah. Like, it's fucking huge.
I said, this is what... Remember, they chose this to be, like, I don't know, but I think it's going to be a 13-episode anime.
Yeah, this is a whole anime season they're putting out of this. This is a whole core. Camelot will fit into 2 movies, I think. This definitely, yeah. And they're probably still going to trim some of the fat.
Oh, yeah. So, Gilgamesh says, here, take 30% of my fucking treasury's gems and go bribe Ishtar. And you do, and it has one of my favorite lines. So, like, well, no, I take that back. My third favorite line, because I'm going to talk about 2 later. Where it just says, Mash, do the thing! And Mash just lays out gems.
There's another fucking reference, which is perfect, too. Mash, do the thing!
And Ishtar's just like, I can't handle these gems. And like, no, you can't. I'll give you 10% of all these gems. She's like, what? How about 25%? That's 1 in 4 gems, Ishtar. She's like, okay, I give. And I'm like, yeah.
Which, by the way, specifically the gems thing is because she's Rin right now. Like, she even talks about in her story, talking about her mana burst gems. She used to be able to store her energy in everything, but because she is Rin and Rin uses gem sorcery, it's just gems. But I think that's specifically like why she likes gems so much as Ishtar the servant, is because Rin's all about gems. Her magic is fucking expensive. That's why Rin's constantly in debt, is because to do her fucking magic shit, she has to constantly buy gemstones.
Oh, Axe mentioned he is being spoiled. Again, we put a spoiler warning at the beginning of the show for a reason.
Yes. That's why we tell you, we love that people tune in, but remember, if you're sticking around through everything, we warn you.
I'm trying to avoid, like, super specific details, but at the same time, I want to talk about stuff.
Well, I mean, the warning's in front of every show, Axe.
But, so you get Ishtar. And another great line is basically every time you camp, Ishtar comes and talks to you. The second time this happens, one of your option dialogues is, my romance interlude sense is tingling. I'm like, yes. That's like, oh my god, like I said, the assassin class options are always the greatest.
It's super funny to see this because, like, Servant Ishtar is the summonable Ishtar is very funny because, like, she's like, hey, it's you, it's great. And you're like, oh, you don't know who I am? Ah, that's fine. Just remember to worship me and stuff. We're cool. Yeah, and it kind of it builds her dialogue very well with her bonds and stuff. But then it's so funny to, you have a fucking retroactive meet cute. She fucking crash lands on you. It's great. It's great.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil what happens during these meetings because I think this is a key story point. I said, again, I don't understand it myself. But apparently you start talking to her. I don't know if you're actually winning affection points or something by, like, how you speak to her. Because I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. But as I said, after that, you decide to go to the second goddess, who you find out of who is, of course, Ketz. And, you have to take out Jaguar Man, who is fucking hilarious. She pulls some fucking Fate Stay Night stuff with the line, servants die when they are killed. Again, I have to wonder, is that what it was originally in Japanese? I hope so. Like, please, please tell me.
That's a very famous line. That's because it's very literally translated from the Japanese. So it's entirely possible that they chose to keep that reference.
Yeah.
If she said something similar in Japanese, then yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. As I said, like, there's something else I want to mention here. Why do so many sprites here look like complete psychos? Enkidu has the wide eye, red eye, the laser eye you one. Kets has all of a sudden I'm smiling very maliciously with razor teeth.
Yeah, Kets is shark face.
Yeah. Oh god,
sprite.
That's terrifying.
Real good. And Noax, she does not constantly have that. She has, I think, normal smiling sprites, but...
Oh yeah, no, she is like super adorable when she is not from full murder face. But even like Roman had a completely creepy one.
Yes, the Mash's dream.
Yeah. Like,
where instead of just seeing Mash's flashbacks, you actually see like a dream she has, which is super important, by the way. I hope you paid attention.
Yeah, but yeah, there's a lot of people who are full psycho here, kind of creepy. But so you get Jaguar Man on your side through a variety of I'm using. I think it was the so fucking hilarious. And you fight Kets. Also, I forgot to mention at one point while searching for things, important things, you fell into the underworld, and some dude you gave bread was all like, "Nah, I got you, bro. Here, let me give you some advice." And this is what leads into the unskippable choice. We will give you. Depends on what the buffs you want to get.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually kind of sad. I actually wanted to empathize with Kets. I was like, no, I can understand it. I feel that. But I was like, I remember the choice. I'm like, I don't want to tag up. No.
Yeah, it's
really
kind of interesting. Like, the way I understand it, because I'm not at the dialogue yet, but I know what the dialogue choices are. What I think is going on is the idea that if you aren't as resolved to oppose her as you could be, she's like stronger.
Yeah. But and either way, like, I don't know if it will matter that much because only evil servants like can do good damage, and she's a writer. So guess what? I took fucking Shootin and Jack, and guess what?
Yeah, even with then you do normal damage basically because it's halved and then it's doubled.
Yep.
I'm probably gonna do some kind of like Mad Lad combo with Herc, Zerxalot, Jack, and some waivers in there.
I didn't have Nero Bride
Tama Lancer in my back slot because she's also
Carmilla.
Summer alignment. Carmilla's a good choice.
Yeah, that's who I had in my back. She's like, yes, just wait for it. But you don't actually defeat her in combat. If you guys like don't want to like spoilers like on how this one ends, like, I need you to skip ahead like 5 minutes because I'm actually going to this one in detail because there's actually a little bit of interesting history here. So basically, the plan is while the servants are holding off Ket, you're gonna go run up and smash one of her noble phantasms, which would basically lower her divinity and authority in the area, make her a lot easier to handle. You run up there, like, after, like, learning a bunch of stuff about it, you run up there and realize, wait, no, this isn't what Kets wants. This isn't what she's looking for. And then you turn around to face her, like, in your full, like, human body, and decide to do a Lucha Libre move, like, off the temple.
Off the top rope.
Literally, you do the top rope. And then you're like, it's not gonna be enough. You need to be higher. And, like, it shows, like, oh, I can make you go higher, and, like, literally flies you into the sky and throws you at Kets. And you have two options for a response to this. It is either, I remember this Ishtar! Or, Sky High Rider Buster Justice Bomb! Guess which one I picked?
Yeah, you have to pick your fucking attack name. Duh.
You have to pick the fucking attack name. Like, I am sorry. Like, if you do not pick that, I am super disappointed in you. At which, and like later, and then Kets is like, what the fuck? It's like, no, don't do that, you'll hurt yourself. And like, all you can do is like, I can't remember what the first like response was, because I didn't even care about it, because the second one was, justice! I was like, oh my god. And here's the thing, like, I know a little bit about the history of Lucha Libre, because I said, like, I'm a jack of all trades and a little bit of everything. Lucha Libre is literally an entertainment sport about good guys versus bad guys.
Well, yeah,
Literally.
it's Mexican high-flying wrestling.
Yeah, and it was like when I screamed justice, I realized that was the moment that Ket was playing a heel the entire time. It's like that's literally what she was doing. Like she was playing the bad guy, waiting, just waiting. Cause here's the thing, she didn't kill human. Like she didn't really kill him. She beat the crapping out of him, drag him back, and revive him, and then put him to work. It was kind of taxing and impressive, but it was that kind of thing. So I think she was literally waiting for humanity's last monster, the good guy, to come and face her in the Lucha Libre match, which he fucking loves, and defeat her that way, because that's how Lucha Libre works.
Yes.
I was like, oh my god, that's so fucking amazing. Because literally, once you do that attack, yeah. As soon as that's done, she's like, all right, I'm on your side. This is amazing. I love you. And you're like,
okay.
And you're like, oh, okay.
Which actually, that could work either way. Saying K.
Okay. Yeah. It's like I said, once you understand that, she's a lot more adorable. She's still kind of terrifying. She is the fucking goddess with a shark.
Well, yeah, the Aztecs have an interesting pantheon.
Yeah, they do.
They demand a lot of human sacrifice, but also, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where I'm at in the story right now. I have just beat Kets. I am now I am up 2 goddesses and a dick wizard.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's the thing that I said, I don't do a lot of research into my fights. I just go into them. I going in blind.
At some point, you vaguely remember. Wait, did Omega say something about this once?
Yeah, no, literally. When I was at the choice, I was like, was it the top one or the bottom one? I think it was the bottom one.
It was.
But so remember how you always start you hit the button, you pick your party, and then it goes into a cutscene, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I see on my screen, oh, I'm just gonna be fighting a fuck ton of sabers. All right, let me just load up with oh, I got Ishtar support. Fuck yeah, let's get Ishtar. I'll grab my Ishtar for days.
Double Ishtar all the way across the sky.
Yep. I get into the fight. I'm reading the text. There's like, oh yeah, if you want to get the thing, I'm not gonna tell you what the thing is. You have to, defeat the Guardians. Oh, by the way, to keep the gods from messing with them, they do extra damage against divine, against the divine. So as long as you pick your party carefully, everything should be good. Yeah, and they're like, yeah, make sure you pick your party carefully. I'm like, you guys did this on fucking purpose. Fucking on purpose, because I was gonna have a badass Ishtar, and like one of the other great archers in the fucking archers is fucking Artemis. Orion.
Yeah, Orion, Gilgamesh, he's divine.
Yeah, all the top 2.
Hey, guess what my other top 2 are? Guess what my top archers are who aren't Ishtar?
Isn't
Tesla, Emiya, Chloe.
It's
yeah, I'm gonna fuck those guys up.
Yeah, so god damn it. But luckily, even with damage, guess what? Ishtar's still out DPS them. So.
Yes, Ishtar is amazing. Mana Burst Gems is such a great skill. She gets so much attack. You just have to time it out right. It's okay, wait, I'm gonna get my NP.
It's
I gotta I'll do the thing now, and then she crushes so much.
Yeah, it's great. I think that's literally all the notes I wrote. Yes, because
which is good because by the way, we're at 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Oh god, you still have to. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. So honestly, your enthusiasm has revived me. I'm a lot higher energy now than I was when we started this. It might also be that I have literally drunk 1.5 bottles of water while we've been doing this too.
Glug glug, motherfucker.
Water is good. You need water. But yeah, so Babylonia's fucking great.
It is. I haven't been playing because if I was playing, I'd be more focused on reading and stuff than I would be talking. Yeah. So, but as soon as we're done with the show,
yeah, well, I've got to make a thumbnail and export it. But yes, I will jump in as soon as possible. I've got some great ideas for the thumb too. I think that transparent foe is going to come in. Maybe some Mozart mask. It gets some scary Rio sprites. Though, hey, let's go ahead and move into new servant details. We won't forget the thing that I talked about. I threw in an extra bit at the last week, but you actually put in the notes this time, so we don't forget.
Yeah.
But I want to jump ahead to talk about new servants, and DJW, thank you for an excellent thumbnail choice this week with a certain Max Ascension audience. You will, if you're live listening to this, you'll see later when I put in the thumb. But yes, thanks a lot. That's going to get some attention. But let's talk about new servants. Actually, no, let's not talk about new servants. Fuck it. Let's talk about FGO Drinks Twitter. I threw a 5-second recording at the end of the last episode because I remembered we forgot about it again.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I think One Fat Panda reminded me. And I was like, right, fuck. Well, I've still got the audio open. I'll just throw it in the end.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so I said specifically what their handle was last time, but I can pull it up really quick. They are at Fate Grand Booze. And this is basically it's an archive of cocktails inspired by certain characters, and it gives you all the ingredients in the presentation, and they have pictures too. All
right, so I'm a little iffy on these because Lucky has worked as a bartender, so he's had to have some experience making drinks. And while a lot of these are fancy, a lot of them also require somewhat exotic drinks and liqueurs. Not to mention you need a little bit of skill in doing garnishing and whatnot. There's still a lot of really good ones in there though.
I mean, aesthetically speaking, the presentation is amazing. There's one for Ishtar where you pour pomegranate seeds into it as the gems.
Yeah. One of them requires fucking actual gold flakes. I'm like, wait, what?
I mean, yeah, you can do that. That's a novelty thing, is drinking actual gold.
Well, there is an alcohol that actually already has gold flakes in it. It's a Goldschlager.
Mm-hmm. The Emiya one is great because the
Emiya one is fucking great.
It's full of cocktail swords. It's a great picture.
Well, no, and the actual drink itself is not too crazy, and it has a good presentation to it as well. Because that's the thing. The thing with making drinks is you have to consider flavors, looks, and flavor and look.
Yeah. I will say, a lot of these are definitely, arranged to have, they're thematically appropriate, but they're not necessarily made with somebody's taste in mind.
Yeah. And that's the thing. So, that's why I'm honestly, if I had, the time to sit down, I feel like I could probably, well, not all of them. Because, as I said, there are some really good ones. Liz's is fucking phenomenal. It's a little complicated, but the combination's really good. But, Abigail's, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, some of them are weird and esoteric. It's also not that it's not that old. I think the first tweet is from November 11th.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty recent thing.
With Mash, by the way.
I think it's the Mash one's all right. I said, I haven't gotten into my mixology anytime recently. Usually I just make simple drinks. Right now I've been drinking I'm drinking Washington apples. If you want Lucky to tell you how to make his favorite drinks, let me know. I will give you some crash courses on some simple but tasty drinks.
Hey, so if we get to $200 Patreon bartending with Lucky,
oh my god,
that is a joke at the moment. I am joking right now. If I decide not to joke later, okay, but don't hold me to that's a thing I'm gonna do, or that Lucky's gonna do specifically that I'll probably edit.
That's my caster persona. I am a mixologist. But yeah, no, it's as I said, for me personally, the FGO drinks are definitely hit or miss, but they're still very interesting to see. And if you have the time, definitely check it out. I wouldn't suggest trying to make some of these things because some of them require techniques like pouring things over spoons and spinning it in. And trust me, while you think it's fucking simple, it's fucking not. All right. Because basically what some of the drinks do is basically you're trying to layer alcohol on top of alcohol. And trust me, if you are unsteady with that shit, everything just mixes up and you just end up with a brown mess. But still, they're still very visually diverse.
Yeah, Shutens is really complex. It's a cool effect.
Yeah.
But you have to prep it days in advance. Because you need fruit, sake, obviously.
Yeah, whoever do this is high tier professional bartender.
Yeah, you need to make butterfly pea flower tea, and then turn it into ice cubes. but that's because they're pH sensitive, so they look blue but then turn purple when you put them in the drink, and they start to like react with it. Yeah. So like it looks super rad, but I'm like looking at the instruction, I'm like, God, that's a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
you couldn't order that like just at the bar. That guy has to have that shit ready.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, like whoever's like making these fucking high, like I'm not a super high level bartender. Like I worked at a couple bars and I worked at a casino. Like I didn't do anything super fancy, but you definitely learn like there's a like if you're trying to make drinks for him, you have to get them out quickly. They have to be tasty and they have to look good.
Drake's is pretty interesting because it's said that Sir Francis Drake may have created El Draca, the first cocktail, anyway. So it's like this is actual like a historical thing that it's based on.
Cool.
That's like spiced up with a little bit of syrup for some color, which is still cool.
Well, that's the thing, like simple syrup. It's like it's a thing that's used a lot actually for like coloring and whatnot.
Let me look at the actual instructions, but I think Altera, Santa Altera's is also pretty simple. It's basically, slightly modified eggnog.
Yep.
Because the Huns actually, that is actually historical. They fermented milk.
Yep.
As an alcohol to make it keep and be, potable. But yeah, so we talked about that for like 5 to 10 minutes in there, and it's pretty fun. Just like I said, just to see visually, I'm not really a huge drinker, but I still like the presentation.
This fucking Kentucky one, aside from the honey ginger syrup, really good. Let's see here. Oh wow, they're fucking alien space beauty one. Let's see here, egg whites, absinthe. Yeah, no, that one's like really good. Let's see here. The Kirky. It's simple, but yeah.
Let's see. There's a Jaguar Man one.
It's a fiery banana.
Yeah, there's a fiery banana in there.
As I said,
I
think
there's a Ketz one. Let's see. Chili liquor, tequila, triple sec.
Actually, honestly, that sounds like a lot of frickin' believe it or not, that sounds like a lot of that sounds spot. It's also really simple. It's
like garnished with like chili powder on the rim or like an orange.
Yeah, it's basically what they basically took is they modified a fucking margarita. That's basically what they did. They just made a spicy margarita. Really cool.
Actually, you're right. I'm looking at the Abigail one right now, and is that a piece of bacon in there?
Yeah, as I said, it's really fucking weird.
Why is there bacon? Oh, it's pancakes or something. It's like breakfast, but also it's got bourbon in it. I don't know why.
Well, actually, bourbon and bacon is a thing. Like, believe it or not, like up here in Washington, we actually have a event called Bourbon and Bacon Fest.
Well, so the ingredients are bourbon, maple syrup, orange juice, a little bit of lemon juice, some bitters, and an optional egg white. So it's like it's breakfast, but with bourbon.
Yeah. As I said, again, I'm like, maybe. Okay, don't get it. Nursery Rhymes is less drink and more presentation.
Maeve's got one too, which is very appropriate. That especially since it's adapted from Cornish mead, which is it's bourbon and mead and some Campari and a little bit of grenadine and a little bit of egg white.
Yeah, he really likes to use egg white, but it's a really good thing.
Well, yeah, it's I think it's to form that like foam at the top.
Yep.
But yeah, that's perfect. We've talked about how Maeve literally has mead as a noble phantasm. So.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but yeah,
all right. But I think that's enough about booze.
We talked about it finally.
Yeah.
It's a really good Twitter. You should follow it.
All right, so I can literally go like fuck off for like 15 minutes now because Omega's gonna talk a lot.
Yes, a voice is fighting about this again because he's taken upon himself to do like analysis videos of lots of new servants coming out in JP. So some of these mechanics require him to talk for forever. Also, voice, for the love of God, boy, stop posting stuff at 2:00 in the morning. I know you're Eastern. Stop it. I have stuff. I don't have time. We always post them in the Discord. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to listen to voice for like this time. He's gonna make me think things.
Oh, by the way, I guess I'll mention this now, but we are in negotiations with voice to get him on the show again at a certain time, so we can talk about certain things. So everyone, stay on the edge of your seats.
Yes, we're working on some timing.
Yep.
Okay, new servants. And yes, hypothetically, we're still doing So You Didn't Get That 5-star. But the notes are written, I just don't know. We'll see after we get through this if we feel like keep going. because Editor Lucky has to edit this still. We're at almost an hour and a half, so anytime Editor Lucky wants to tell me to stop, feel free to pull that trigger. But for now, new servant details, Mark II, for the new Lost Belt banner. Shi Hongdi, aka Emperor Peacock. Some people think he's Emperor Mothman, but I think Peacock, personally. He is a limited SSR ruler. He has a similar attack and HP spread to Jean, so that should tell you a lot about his design. He is QAABB with robust hit counts. His NP gain is pretty good too. To unpack him, you need to basically unpack his whole kit. It's a whole thing. Alright? It's an entire thing. Which I will vamp, because Lucky is not here. Womp womp. So, first of all, his kit is way more sinister when you talk about it, because a lot of people are like, oh, this Emperor's great, he's so cool, why did we have to destroy his perfect future? Well, let me tell you. Skill number 1, all books must be burned. Gives all enemies a charge down and a 20% defense down for 3 turns, minimum 6 turn cooldown. Second skill, all scholars must be buried. Is a 70% chance of enemy stun, and then gives him 3 turns of attack plus with a 6 turn cooldown. The debuff timing is a bit off, like the time you'd actually want to try and drop stuns and charge downs is complicated because it's on a 6 turn cooldown, so it's not like you can do it on every NP bar. But, it's there. It's pretty good. His final skill is actually pretty basic. It's Eternal Emperor A is a pretty standard battery plus skill. It clears his debuffs and then is also up to 3k heal and a 50% battery. Also 6 turn cooldown. Very uniform, which is good for him because he needs NP. His NP is an arts buff. So first off, it makes him invincible and gives him target focus for 1 turn. It's basically a pocket mash. Right. Which is good because Mash's skills are a little goofed up right now in story. She's got a different kit for story missions. You can use her old skills for challenge quests and stuff, but if you're fighting a hard story boss, you can pull the classic, unless it's an AoE attack, basically okay, come hit me, I'm invincible right now. Also, it gives him a huge Star Absorb, Crit Plus, and Attack Plus buff for 3 turns, the latter scales with Overcharge. They're big, but they're tempered by the fact that he uses a card slot and basically has no class advantage, because there's only 2 Moon Cancers officially, and sometimes mobs, and other weird stuff. I think there was a Kiara who was a Moon Cancer as a challenge quest boss in Summer 3. So, yeah, basically he's tanky as fuck, and he can turn that into good damage when his buffs are running, but not as fast as a dedicated hitter. He's great for solos, though, like a Jean, but with actually good skills. By the way, his skills blow several other SSRs out of the water, so New Year's rank ups demanded. His battery is better than Lancer Artoria, and technically his stun chance, considering that it's not a mental debuff, is technically better than Shuten's Charm, because there's less enemies who are immune to it. So, yeah, no. He's maybe a little power creeped, but he's a limited, and you can always patch people up to kind of get in there. But like I said, the fundamental problem with him is, while his buffs are great, and he will actually do okay damage as a ruler, without his buffs, he's, just hitting like a wet noodle. And, basically, if you've ever used Jean, she'll save your ass, right? Takes forever. Takes fucking forever. This guy's the same way. You will be getting those 60 turn count matches with this guy. And maybe a little bit less because he can do big damage when all his buffs are up, but still, it's rough. But he will do good in certain, challenge or solo quests. So let's talk about Consort U. Stat-wise, Consort U will make you cry. It's just, you're gonna look at these numbers and you're gonna cry. For an SR Assassin, her attack is the lowest. It is barely 500 points above Jinkei, a 3-star Assassin. That's low, guys. But her HP is huge. She's got more than most SSR Assassins. I'm not kidding. Her HP pool is enormous. She has a QQAAB deck with very solid generation stats. So she'll get NP and stars good, which is important. You'll see why in a second. Skill number 1 is the Incarnated Spirit, which gives her 1 turn of debuff immunity and up to 10% NP charge for 5 turns with a 5-turn cooldown at max. Say hello to constant NP charging. Her second skill, it's been translated a couple different ways, but I like Heaven's Feathered Woman for the moment. That gives her a maximum 1k heal per turn for 5 turns, also on a 5-turn cooldown, so say hi to Infinite Regen. But also, very important, it gives her buff removal resist, so it's called like buff cleanse resist, which is plus 100% for 1 turn, so you have to watch when you pop this skill, it's very important, so you don't accidentally lose her buffs early. Final skill is just Vampirism. It's a C rank, it's like Euralian since I know. 80% chance to drain, max 25% NP charge. So, this NP. It's a thing. She is an assassin with a Buster AoE NP, which first off, it removes debuffs and buffs from herself, unless you're riding your max level on that second skill. She won't debuff cleanse, she won't buff cleanse herself then. But this is why timing is important. But it's Death Piercing and comes with a minimum 50% Buster Up self-buff, which happens after the cleanse, so it sticks. So, the Buster Up scales with Overcharge. She literally starts with a free mana burst every time. She still gets to keep her CEs, and like I said, if you max out that second skill so that she doesn't have to remove her own buffs, you can stick other crazy buffs on there, which is scary. It's Death Piercing, like I said, and then it slaps 2k curse damage for 5 turns. But boy howdy, man, using it is slow. I would like to say, at least officially, for the live viewing audience and for patrons, we will get this out before Voice finishes his video. I would like to call Consort you possibly the first Buster Stall character. Maybe not, because Leonidas, he has the ability to taunt, but that's kind of like tanking. That's not necessarily the same kind of like stalling out. She can charge down, she removes buffs, or she removes charge, and she is immune to debuffs, I should say. But boy, goddamn, that NP, her actual damage output is super low without a lot of fiddling, but goddamn, she can keep using that NP over and over again. So much. It's phenomenal. It's weird. But otherwise, hope for an NP interlude soon. Maybe not so much to, like, remove the negatives, but just for a damage multiplier in there, maybe upper curse damage. She's a great character otherwise, but we don't really want to talk about that because lots of spoilers, but I love the fan art. And honestly, she's one of those characters who's got, like, a great first ascension. Just because I don't want to ditch the glasses, guys. The glasses are great, and the braid, it's amazing. And she's wearing a fucking sweater. It's kind of adorable. Okay, let's talk about Red Hair. Red Hair is a 3-star story-locked writer. I put in my notes once again, I cry. In all lowercase. He has the best HP in that class. Yes, the best HP in 3-star writers, but fairly low attack to compensate. Not the lowest, but low. QQAAB deck, quick AoE NP. A very basic AoE NP. It does Death Piercing damage and has a chance to skill seal. So, not bad. It's a thing. His generation stats are solid at least, so he can do AP gen pretty good and do star gen pretty good. His first skill, and by the way, all his skills are subtitled horse, by the way. So just in parentheses, tag horse on the back of all of these that I'm going to say. So long distance dash is the first one. Gives him 3 uses, so 3 hits of quick and star gen buffs at 30 and 50% respectively, which lasts 5 turns. So you use it in 5 turns, and he's got 3 uses of it. 5-turn cooldown, so no need to worry about wasting it on bad hands. Innumerable Martial Arts, horse, is a kind of buff roulette thing. Max chance is 80% to give him 1 turn each of Star Absorb, not that he needs it, he's a writer, and Pierce Invul, and also gives him Evade on a 5-turn cooldown for sure. Which can be good, because that means he can dodge certain NPs. The Evade is nice, the other stuff, Pierce Invul is good, but it's very situational, and Star Absorb is also very situational, because he's already a writer. They have the biggest star weight in the game already. And then, Combat Maneuvers, horse, is his first skill, only the buffs are to attack and crit strength. Combined with a Writing EX passive. He's fairly effective in his niche because he doesn't necessarily waste his buffs on bad card hands, so, like, you drop his buffs and then you're like, next turn you're like, fuck, I don't have any red hair cards. Doesn't matter. You will probably use them right away anyway, but still, you can hold on to them for a while. But he's also not necessarily out hitting permanent day one riders either. Like, if you're a day one player and you have a Medusa, an Alexander, like, they'll punch better than red hair will. Very interesting. Alright, so we're at almost an hour 40.
Oh, jeez.
Editor Lucky, do you wanna shelve so you didn't get that 5-star? Because the banner will still be going next week.
Well, as long as you're okay with not, like, as I said, basically Editor Lucky is only going to put in images and inserts when Editor Lucky is mentioned.
Yeah, that's
even
fair.
If theirs. So, otherwise it's just going to be BGM and a static background.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, that's fine. We don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Ugh. But it's, like I said, we've been recording for almost 2 hours, so we can go ahead and wrap up here. We will talk about So You Didn't Get That 5-star next week. More Babylonia thoughts.
I said Babylonia's going to be going on for a while. Like, the first banner goes all the way to the 31st, I think, doesn't it?
Yeah, something like that. I can actually look at that right now. Yeah, the release campaign doesn't end for another... yes, the event lasts until what will technically be the morning of January 1st on the East Coast. So yes, it goes all the way through the rest of the month, which is actually longer than in Japan. Interesting.
Yeah.
So the Babylonia campaigns will run right up until New Year starts. Well, at least I'll be able to throw some more tickets because I want Devilish Bodhisattva. Lots of people are celebrating getting the key RSCE. It's interesting.
Hell yeah! I haven't got it. I did get Room Garter though, which I find hilarious because she's playing FGO and Karna's on her phone screen. So I'm like, tee hee.
Yeah, it's funny. Of course she would.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, let's go ahead and wrap up then, because we've been here forever.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I hope you enjoyed the longer show. I know some people really like longer shows. Some people don't. Ooh, I got a little close to my mic there. Anyway, oh yeah, hold on. I definitely did that Patreon poll for this month. Let's go check on it, actually. Check on Teach Me Omega Sensei this month. Because it's going for another week, so if you're at our $5 level or above, or sign up for our $5 level and above, you can get in on that poll. Let me just see how we're doing. I haven't looked at this at all because I've been busy. Oh boy, hey. Lucky might have to be tiebreaker. It's currently 2-2 on both Mystic Codes and Mage Association.
Heck.
With 8 days left. So yeah, like I said, if you haven't voted yet, or if you want to sign up at that level, you can jump in, you can break this tie. And then we'll, like I said last time we talked about this, we'll be adding some more things to this once Babylonia's and the final chapter are out of the way, because there's some topics which people probably could use a refresher on, but it's not like we can talk about them in advance because they haven't come up naturally in the story.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so do we have any final thoughts this week?
Let me see here. Nope, I got nothing. As I said, we're still only in the beginning of December, so as I said, we still got a lot of time. Babylonia is in full swing. As I said, I'm going to be working on that. Omega's going to be working on that. A lot of you guys out there are going to be working on that. We have Solomon coming up here at the end of the month. We're going to be working on that, and then we have a fuck ton of banners to bring in the new year.
Yep, going to do a lot of... Oh, I should mention that. Wanted Enkidu did come out already, so if you want to learn more about that guy, do that. Oh, that's up already.
I didn't talk much about Enkidu during First Impressions because aside from his sudden heel turn, he really didn't leave that much of an impression on me.
No, I think I said this off mic while we were still finalizing the notes, but it's very... They pull the trigger on that real quick. It's like... Yeah. Oh, here's Enkidu. He's a great hero. It's amazing. Oh, nope, wait. He's bad. You just flip that real quick. But alright, so that's the end of the show then. My final thoughts are my neck is stiff. So, I will go ahead and say, if you like this episode, give it a like. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section down below. If you also want to get in our Discord, the link is in the description. You can give us feedback and stuff there. If you are new here and have not already, please subscribe. That's really great, and also lets you know when our videos are posted. And even if you're already subscribed, don't forget that bell for notifications, so you always know right away when we post a new video. Also, as it says at the top of the show, consider supporting us on Patreon. For just $1 a month, you can get access to this episode in audio format, downloadable, and early. Like, literally, I'm going to export the audio. I'm going to probably grab some dinner while it edits and exports, and make the thumb, and then it's going to go up on Patreon for just $1 a month. Real cheap, guys. And that really just helps us out. And so we will see you guys next week for more Let's Talk FGO. We'll see you guys... We will or will have seen you guys for What's Up at some point. That's always, it's weird. What's Up is way longer, but it also, it takes less time technically to render because it's still lo-fi. Keep an eye out for the next Wanted when a banner is next announced. We're going to be doing a lot of those this month, or I will specifically. And just keep an eye out for other stuff on the channel. All right, everybody. I'm a tired boy. I'ma go away now. I will go.
I'ma go Sky High Rider Buster Justice Bomb!